Check, 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 check.
Good morning, John.
Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
Well, good, good. We had 9.9 inches of snow last week, and they're calling for more snow this weekend. So we're going to see what happens. I think it's going to hit the whole state.
Oh, the whole state. Oh, wow. From yesterday, it'll make you so upset.
It could be crazy. We shall see. So we had a lot of interest, obviously, in this session. So we got a lot of folks that are joining. So I would expect that list to continue to grow. But in the interest of time, we'll do our best to start right about 9 o'clock. And we are recording it, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're talking directly from the performance standard. I meant the protocol, so we're fine.
Yeah, and so I'll let folks know, obviously, that we'll do Q&A, and I'll sort of monitor that, and they'll be able to type their questions in and things like that. And once we get towards the end, if we want to, sort of open it up and just let folks go. The way this is set up right now, it's a webinar, so they can see you and hear you, but you can't see or hear them.
Okay.
So, but I'll monitor that and make it happen.
All right.
Good morning, Tammy.
I just emailed Tammy. I think if this is
And Jennifer, are you able to share your screen if you need to?
From Pine. Let's see. Yep. Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
All right, folks, it is 9 o'clock, right on the nose. Looks like we've still got some folks that are filtering in, but I want to thank everybody for joining us for this kind of impromptu session. It's something that Jennifer and I had talked about a lot over the fall, but I know with her schedule and things happening here, we couldn't quite get it done, but I'm so glad she was aggressive and said, hey, why don't we do this on Friday? I said, yes,
That's right.
Why don't we? So talking about focus area 2 in particular, and any changes that have occurred over the last several months, and then what you as program directors and folks working with your reviewers can expect once those reviews begin again. So let me turn it over to Jennifer. We are recording this, so if there are any folks that aren't with us right now, we'll be able to share this with them later. This is a webinar, so the format is a little different than a regular meeting. Jennifer cannot see you and she cannot hear you. However, you are able to type your questions into the Q&A or into the chat, and you can raise your hand if you'd like to speak, and I can unmute you and you can interact with Jennifer and the group directly. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Jennifer and turn my camera off. So Jennifer, thank you so very much for making time to join us today.
Oh, you're most welcome, John. Good morning, Kentucky Head Start programs. John was just telling me that you had 9 inches of snow last week and expecting more today. I'm up more this weekend. So, bundle up, stay warm. So let's jump into this. Yes, you will have your FA2. Yay! I know you guys are so excited you could barely sit in your seats. So for right now, the FA2s is a hybrid. And a hybrid means that the interviews for now are virtual and someone will be on site to do your classroom observations. And the health and safety observations, well, it's called the exploration. The exploration will take place as they arrive on the campus. Teachers are interacting with your kiddos. Now, here are some good tips. Number one, make sure your classroom is clean and clear of clutter. That's number one. Make sure that your children and your staff are washing their hands. Know the fidelity of your curriculum. For example, if you are taking part of the creative curriculum, when she walks or he walks into the room, the curriculum should be evident. That means that the teacher should have a study board. When they look around the classroom, they should be able to say, oh, Jennifer is teaching, and I'm looking around my desk about tape this week. You know why? Because I see tape all over the classroom. I see that she has different types of tape. She has packing tape. She has desk tape. You know, all different kinds of key. Another thing, please make sure that your, again, with creative curriculum, your materials are labeled. Make sure that you have your centers available. Now, let me say this. For example, a lot of people are breaking up a little bit. Your video has started. Am I good now, John? John? Yes, no, no.
It comes and goes.
All right. Just, well, look, it's a lot of kiddos on virtual learning here, so.
Okay, just letting you know.
Okay, thank you. So making sure with your curriculum, a lot of people say, oh, we have this stuff out for COVID. You guys have Zono machines, a lot of people, so you are starting to return back to normal. So your classroom should look normal. Here's the thing. When you guys reduced your materials in the classroom, you had 8 kiddos in your room. Now, most programs are back to full enrollment in the classrooms. You cannot have 8 blocks and 4 kids trying to play in the block area. So when you went back to full enrollment, your materials should have went back to full enrollment. Just make sure that you have those cleaning devices in place. A lot of you purchase Zonos. A lot of you can wipe down your toys daily, spray them and clean them. All right. Here's the next thing. Hand sanitizers should not be in reach of children. Hand sanitizer, I know due to COVID, we have used more hand sanitizers than we have used in our lifetime. However, if you look on the back, it still says keep out of reach of children, and it must be out of reach of children. Make sure you're looking at your soaps that a lot of individuals have on their counters, and make sure that it does not. Please make sure that teachers don't have those cups like the Yeti cups, the Starbucks coffee cups, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, whatever cups. They cannot be in the classroom because that is a health hazard. You know, your kiddos can go get them a drink of Starbucks as well. Or what if it's the hot coffee and a teacher and it tumbles over on a child? Now we have another issue. Those are some of the biggest things that we see, and teachers' purses are just all over the place. Put your purses inside of the closet, or either which programs would purchase lockers for teachers to lock their purses up and their phones up. All right. So some of the things that are kind of different from last year to this year is, and if you pull out your, I'll share my screen. Let's see. Okay. Hold up, guys, you know, nothing wants to work when you want it to work. Here we go. So at this time, do we have any questions in the chat box?
I'm not seeing any. I think that your video and everything is sort of leveled out now, but we shall see.
Okay, no problem. So let me make sure that I am sharing. So I'm going to stop my share and I'm going to start it again. All right, so here we go. Let's start with right here. Right here. Well-being, the recipient life goals. How do you demonstrate the program supports for families' goal setting and tracks for family strengthens its needs? And here's the key word, the progress towards the goal. So I know a lot of you guys use Child Plus, some of you use Easy Track, some of you use this a product from this guy named Michael in Ohio. Make sure if you are using those that they can go ahead and enter the fields so that on the family goal settings, you can have these goals so that your family advocate or your family service worker can actually check which goals that wants to obtain a GED or go back to school to get a college degree. If I need housing assistance and if I need financial education, because the next thing that they're going to ask is destroy the goals families are working. How are you going to demonstrate that the families have completed one goal? So here, I know if you're using Child Plus, this is these report numbers that you can pull, but help you out. So as you can see, so for Child Plus, it's 4131A. That's the completed goal. And how you guys can track your goals is 4133A. I'll say it again. 4133A is the completed goals, and how you track your goals is 4131A. If you've already started that process, awesome. If not, please go ahead and start your process. It's a good way to get your family advocates into a good system of tracking and inputting their data. So those two pieces of documentation would definitely help you out there. Okay. I'm going to put it in the chat. 4133A is for completed goals.
Yeah, hey, Jennifer, that didn't come through.
All right, 4133A is for completed goals, and 4131A is for goals, is for the goals. All right. Again, I apologize for and I have fiber internet, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was going to suggest that maybe you could try to reconnect.
Okay. I have fiber and I have all of my bars.
Do you? Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason, it's just getting spotty. All right, we'll keep going. Sorry for the interruption.
Can you hear me now?
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right. Okay. Because I have two internet lines. I switched to the other one. Yes. All right. So here we go. There we go. So now here we're going to talk about how you're going to show that you provide the resources that supported the family well-being. So here are some great ways, and I know programs across the country, you do a lot of great things. And this is what I like about reviews. You are showing the review team and the Office of Head Start, hey, yes, we got your money, and these are all the great things that we have done for your families and for the program. So show how you guys did financial education for parents. It's tax time. Are you helping families with taxes? Are you showing them how to get a banking account? How are you doing this? Debt consolidation, debt counseling. Are you showing them how to get their credit back on track? You're going to have to show them how you did it. Remember how you did it, and you must show proof and give examples. The proof is the examples. This is the time to show off all the great things that you have done with this money. Keisha, guess what? Call Child Plus and tell them that you need these fields entered into your system. And they'll go ahead and input it. They're getting calls after calls because this is what, is being required. You are most welcome. Now, here's another one. A lot of times, people say, well, then if you gave them this, was there any follow-up? Follow up with your families. How often do your family advocates truly follow up with families? Now let's come into reality. Because family advocates had to be in the classrooms, because all of us across the nation has been a part of the Great Resignation, right? So how has this really impacted your program? How has this really impacted your program? And just be very upfront. Now, I know a lot of us gave out a lot of food during the pandemic. Please show like your flyers where you said Jennifer's Head Start had a food drive, and this is how many families participated, or this is how many boxes we gave out. We need that data, that quantitative data. You just can't say, oh, I had a food drive once a month. Okay, well, how many boxes of food did you give out? So this is the data that you need to start looking back at and start pulling together. Another thing, how did you share this information about your child's development and types of information the recipients gathered from parents about the child's development? This sounds like an education question, yes. However, it's funneling over into family services. We've seen a lot of programs use this, and I don't work, let me go ahead and give a disclaimer. I don't work for any of these companies. I'm just saying what we have seen in the field. Genie, and it's this mobile device where it kind of, it's called Learning Genie. And it kind of shares the information with the families about education and all of that. A lot of you guys also use, what was the thing with, oh gosh, it's at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. I'll think of it in a little bit. But it was the online learning piece with the families where it showed the short videos and it was connected with teaching strategy. It was compatible. Ready Rosie, that's it. Thank you, Michelle. Ready Rosie. So pull that data from Ready Rosie and Learning Genie, because this is how the family advocates and the education department really should have been working in sync. Remember when you guys did virtual studies and the family advocate was online with the teachers and a lot of families? Show how you guys intertwine your communications. That works really, really well. So let's go to education, which is my super fave. and we'll come back to health statuses. Now, education. As you know, education is the heart, soul, and foundation of Head Start, Early Head Start. And many of these have not changed. If you look from the protocol from last year, the year before last, pre-pandemic. Now, one thing that is it's a quality question. And the quality question is, the recipient will explain the expectation of kindergarten readiness assessment of receiving schools. If you do an assessment or the school does an assessment, I know a lot of public schools do these kindergarten assessments, ask them to share the data. Or either if you're doing the assessments, you're sharing the data. A lot of you do a lot of great things with public schools as your children are transitioning, or the public schools or yourself have a partnership. This is when the true partnership comes into play with the data. Okay, so discuss if the program attains the kindergarten interest assessment data. Get with the education person at or the curriculum specialist and say, hey, we have the data for the kindergarten assessment. And then what do you do with that data? Do you look at that data and say, hey, the children that entered kindergarten in 2020 needed more assistance in letter recognition or letter sounds or articulation, and then that's how you beefed up your stuff and your program to ensure that you're meeting the needs so that your children are truly ready for kindergarten once they leave your Head Start program. Those are some examples that you can use. Teaching, intentional teaching. I like how that say effective and intentional teaching. Please make sure your teachers are capable of articulating the interview questions. The interview will be very personable. It's going to be one-on-one with the reviewer and the teacher. So once the reviewer finishes her classroom observation, which takes about 20 to 30 minutes, someone needs to be able to relieve the teacher so that she can go in a nice spot with the reviewer so that they can actually have the conversations about the questions. Now, make sure that they are able to articulate what you do. How do you organize activities, schedules, lesson plans, as responsiveness? Be able to articulate that, hey, yes, we write lesson plans. These are our goal settings. We have trainings. Make sure that teachers understand that being supported by your program does not only mean money. Being supported by your program means, hey, my program supports me with supplies. They support me with adequate training. They support me with mentoring and coaching and, all different things. And I get feedback. That means that somebody just don't come in and observe me and I never know what happens. So those are some very key things. Make sure your teachers even know that you have a school readiness plan. Show them the school readiness plan. Hey, this is what we do here. These are our goals. This is what we try to achieve as it relates to our school readiness plans. During your next faculty meeting, share this with staff. All right. So let's talk about health services. And I know we really haven't done like the 45, 90 days in a while on a review. So go ahead, programs, and start pulling those reports to see effectively where you are with those 45 and 90 days. Now, with the 45 and 90 days, if you have not been able to meet them, there should have been some communication with the family to say, hey, little Jennifer needs her 45 days. Her fiscal, is about to run out. Will you go and get her another fiscal? And have that documentation to say that, excuse me, say that, hey, we need to get this right here together as a family, okay? And give support. Mom may say, hey, can you make an appointment for me? Because my doctor is still not seeing people, or what have you done innovative to actually make sure that your children are still receiving these services? I know, hold on, let me get some water. Apologize. You know, if you cough 2 times around here, everybody looks at you funny. So, but where was I? Oh, 45 and 90 days. Make sure that you are having those conversations with families to make sure that you are actually working with them to meet the 45 and 90 days. Please make sure that you work with your health advisory board. A lot of people have pediatricians up there, and they're more than willing to help out, okay? Questions? Questions? Now, with the 45 days of your screeners, please make sure that you're up to date with that, and also make sure that you're following up and following through with your screeners. With your mental health. Now, with your mental health, please make sure that your consultants are working with the children, make sure that you have their license. And this is a question that a lot of people really don't understand, but it's a simple question. Does the recipient ensures mental health consultant is available to partner with families and staff? Listen at this one. Partners with the families and staff, not just the families now, but the staff, in a timely and effective manner. How is your mental health person working with the staff? Due to COVID has left a lot of people severely stressed and strained, all right? Oral health, have you started back brushing teeth yet? That's a question. If you have not, please be able to show what you're doing for oral health. Your teachers should still be, your teachers can do oral health in her lesson plans. Your teachers can send information home, or the family advocates, or either the health nutrition manager should send stuff home to families about a healthy mouth, healthy eating, making sure you go to the dentist, and send the toothbrushes home. Actually send the toothbrushes home. Now, when you do this, keep a record of what you're sending home, how often you're sending it home, and who's getting it. All right? Now, does the recipient post individual child allergies promptly where staff can view them? When you post food allergies, make sure that you have a cover page. It just can't say food allergies and my name and all this information is here. You can't do that because that's the child's privacy. All right. I want everybody to look at PM4. The recipient has implemented a process for monitoring and maintaining healthy and safe environments. That means when they come to your center, make sure that, you know, everybody has masks on. You have those signs at the door. If your program has invested in ventilations, please be able to ensure that. Those zonal machines, show how you guys are washing hands, how you're cleaning stuff. That really, really helps out. I do know that some programs have individuals are being tested. And I know this is a question. What happens when I have to, I'm going to answer that in a quick second. Let me finish this, Chris. Hey, Chris. What happens when I have to shut a classroom down? Just be able, who knows when you have to shut a classroom down? If a classroom in your building is shut down, your health manager and your Head Start director should be notified immediately. That room should be cleaned very thorough, whether it's outsourced or in-house. Put a sign on the door that says this classroom has been closed for quarantine and has been cleaned by blah, 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 blah. Keep this on file, keep this on record, all right? So Chris says, my understanding is that has changed for food allergies so important to risk of children's health outweighs the needs of privacy. That is the reason for, says, probably one trainer accesses just to put the child's picture with their allergies. Chris, a lot of people, this right here is, it goes back and forth, but it still needs to be, you just put a sign that says food allergies. You but you can't, it just can't say food allergies and says Jennifer Reed out for everybody to see it. That's what's been going back and forth with. So as of now, you can put the pictures, you can put the initials, but it has to, in the classroom, and it needs to be in the classroom, in the kitchen. Here are the connections that you need to be able to make. If Miss Brown is the teacher and it says Jennifer Reed is lactose intolerant, they need to make that connection all the way back to the kitchen. And the kitchen needs to have the same thing. And whatever the substitution is, whether it's goat milk, and I'm saying goat milk because it was really odd. A few weeks ago, a baby drinks goat milk, and I was like, wow, goat milk is very sweet. I have Caribbean friends who cook with that. So that's one thing. But yes, you can put the child's picture with the algae, but it needs to be posted, but it just, for right now, it still cannot just be out in the open. And Chris, I will look and dig to see if I can find that. All right. Thank you, Chris. Did that answer your question? Thumbs up? Yes, no? In the chat box, Chris? All right, thank you. So that's what it relates to the child's health status. And I'm going to wrap up soon because I know you guys have so many things to do. ERSI, for your ERSI files, please make sure that you have what the eligibility form, what made them eligible, that document whether it was the W-2s, the 1040s, the 1099s, zero income. All of that was, dialogued in the performance standards. Or if they're categorically eligible, you need the document of the SSI, TANF, homelessness, or foster information. And if they have zero income, most programs, all programs should have that zero document, zero income document, or the declaration. All right. They're actually going to make sure that you have those documents and that they're calculated correctly. If you guys are using the 1040s, make sure you're looking at the total income, and they're on different lines according to what year of taxes. Sometimes it's line 7, sometimes it's line 9, sometimes it's line 9C, sometimes it's line 15, according to what year the taxes were done. All right. Please make sure that your family advocates if they, and this is a part of the interview, if they hand you a W-2, the great question is, are these all of your W-2s? I have seen a great push forward to family advocates helping families retrieve their 1040s or their tax papers, because a lot of family advocates have issues with calculations. And if I have my 1040 or my tax paper, it's already calculated for me. Please encourage them, but we can't make it a barrier. But it's really easy. Go to irs.gov, you get that tax transcript, or just ask the family, if you did taxes, we can just go online and get the tax paper, because a lot of our families go to like H&R Block, they go to Tax Hewitt, and those, you know, box companies for the taxes. Now, I am not finance by any means. So if you do need finance help, I can give you a name to several financial consultants, because anything that I tell you, I do want it to be for the most beneficial portion of your program. I stay in my lane, and finance is not my lane. Let me quote that. So the last portion to this is PDM. Your board has straight through questions. How are they active? They need to be able to articulate, hey, we participate in self-assessment. Hey, we participate in monthly meetings, you know, and we are informed about information through emails, mouth to mouth, word of mouth, telephone, all those great things. And how do they use the data? You guys should be explaining the data to them during these meetings. And how do they oversee the program's process and carrying out the programmatic provisions of the application? They should be a part of the goal settings. You know, they're not going to be entangled in them, but they should be a part of them. And they should know that you guys are actually going through this through your meetings. A lot of board members are truly active inside of your program. So that's a great board member. Please make sure your board members are just not the rubber stamps, they yay, nay, but they actually participate meaningfully. And how they are active as well as, hey, you have that board member that sits with the finance person or either review the budget when that you guys are putting the budget together. So on Monday, this is how it goes. On Monday morning, you guys will have that beautiful introductory meeting. And that's when that you guys are going to introduce your main staff. And then everybody is going to go and start your interviews and that data process, the data reviews. Now, whatever you tell these people you do, please make sure that you have proof to show it. Also, make sure that when you go in the classrooms, what you're saying at the interview, when they go out into your fields or inside your classrooms, this is actually what's happening. Please make sure that your center managers have data of how they are providing health and safety monitoring or whatever monitoring that they're doing. Please make sure. This is one of the easiest ones that, you know, gets a lot of people, you know, caught up in a lot of things. Those health and safety checklists, for example, they'll check. Yes, that the playground is perfect. And then when the person goes on the playground, you have rusted materials, but on your checklist, it says that it is free from rust, pollens, and all those other things. It says that, you know, I don't have any leaves and brushes. And when I go outside, I have leaves up to my kneecaps, or, you know, the standing water. If something is wrong on your playground, it's okay. Put the truth on the paper, because this is documentation so that your admin office can know, hey, I need to get somebody out to the playground over at Kinsley's Field and fix it. It is so key to do that. Make sure that your documentation is truthful. And just don't check just to check it all off. You don't know how many times I look at checklists. It can be a Tuesday and Friday is already checked off. I'm like, wow, we're already living in the future and Friday hasn't come here. Please monitor this information. I encourage all administration, just pop up at a school. I prefer you to go to the furthest school from your main office and just pop up. You will be amazed at what you see. At this time, because I told John I'll keep it at an hour. Any questions? Any questions?
You can type your questions in the chat, the Q&A, or you can raise your hand and we can call on you in person.
Yes, don't be shy. Are 30-day letters sent out before visits still? I'm not understanding that one, Tammy. Oh, yes, I do understand. Yes, they should be. I think it's more like 45 days now. And I have my information in there. It's good seeing you too, Keisha. But yes, Tammy, you'll be notified and then you'll start your planning. And that's when the rubber meets the road. But yes, Tammy, you'll still get that letter. If you need us to come out and look through your classrooms to see what will be found if this was a real review, help you with your files, your documentation, or either help you go through your interviews, we are here to help you. My email is in the chat. My phone number is in the chat. And I know that we've already helped some programs in Kentucky, and hopefully they will say that it was most helpful, because at the end of the day, I don't want you to become nose blind to your situation. You see it every day, and a lot of times you think it's okay. But just having that third eye or that outside eye in to make sure that you're seeing what we're seeing. And always go by your policies and procedures. That is the best thing. Yes, you can directly email me for this. Yes. Well, John, I want to thank you again for allowing me to do this. And I want to thank the great state of Kentucky for joining in. We had a full house here this morning, John.
We did indeed. Yeah, and so I would encourage folks, you've got the information there, but I'll send out a copy of this to everyone and include Jennifer's contact information. I know she's always more than helpful to answer questions or to assist when possible.
Yes.
All right, gang, unless there are any other questions for Jennifer, we will go ahead and adjourn. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jennifer.
All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.